Hello, it's Pierluigi. In this video, I want to share with you some of the core principles that I adhere to whenever I create responsive designs for clients. So this is going to give you a brief overview as to the core principles. So let's get started with the very first one, which is going to be setting the right frame size. Now, this might seem like something basic, but you absolutely have to keep in mind what is the majority of your users going to use, either iOS or Android. And if you have that data, you always have to consider it. Now, as a general rule of thumb, something around 375 pixels should be good to go. The way that you set this up in Figma is you can actually just select a frame and you can select any one of these phone frames which you want to work with. Now, that being said, we have to consider also another thing whenever we are working on mobile design, which is the hierarchy and interest point distribution. Now, this is a fancy way of saying that you have to keep in mind what are the most natural touch points whenever someone is holding in their hand a mobile device. So, for example, this area here is very easy to reach with your thumb finger, while these areas here on the top or even on the far bottom will require the user to use their other hand in order to click on, for example, a top level menu or an icon on the top part. So you have to keep this in mind as you are designing the responsive version of your website or even an app, because it's likely going to have an impact on the results that you're looking for. Now, that being said, on top of this consideration, we have to also consider another thing which is different whenever you're working on mobile compared to desktop. And that is that the touch points need to be bigger. And by that, I'm specifically referring to things like call to actions, menu items, expand options, all of those hyperlinks or call to actions of any sort are going to need quite a wide touch point within the mobile environment. Because as you can see, if you use a thumb, for example, or even the index finger, you're going to need to cover quite a bit of area. So you don't want to create small buttons, you don't want to make things difficult for the user whenever you're structuring the call to actions and any interaction points of that sort. Now, the other important thing which you definitely have to consider is the tablet version. And I totally understand that sometimes for the sake of practicality, as designers, we're just going to focus on the desktop and the mobile version. But you should also consider whenever you're creating the mobile version, and even ideally initially with the desktop version, how is the bridge going to appear and look like when it comes to the tablet? Because the tablet, in essence, it's a bridge between the desktop and the mobile version. So you want to create solutions, ideally in the mobile version, which are going to be easily implemented and bridged by the tablet version. So see it almost as a gradient where you're going from pure white to pure black. You want to have a solution which is going to easily blend with gray in the middle. So that is another thing that you should definitely consider. And the last but not least important point which I see so many designers fail, but it's such a crucial part of the responsive design workflow, is to test your solutions on a real device. So don't just stay in Figma and think that that's the only environment that where you're going to have all the answers. Simply send yourself a screen of the mobile version that you're working on your phone, or you can even use apps like the Figma app in order to see a prototype of the mobile version that you're designing, even in real time, which is even better. So you can make live adjustments, and it's immediately going to tell you if the ratios are good, if the structure is working, if the font sizes are just at the right sizing. So this is going to be really, really important, and something that it's you can really test in that level with that degree of precision otherwise. So keep these points in mind. Hope this video was helpful, and I'll see you in the very next one.